Hey there, Ryan Kingsline here. Thank you so much for joining me in this kind of specially special for me episode and series on how to create a business from online courses, from building online courses built around your passions, the things that you've been really interested in, all your life, the things that you've really focused and spent your time on. Now we're going to look at how you can build an awesome business. I got a whole series for you here, but in this first one of the most commonly asked questions I get from all my friends that see what I do is, what platform do I use? And instead of just telling you what platform I use, which is Kajabi, I want to tell you about the ecosystem and help you so you can kind of make your own judgment about what's really going to work for you. So before we get into that, I want to tell you, because maybe you're coming to this and you don't know me, you don't know my background, none of that. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am, and I'm going to walk you through a presentation, and then I'll come back on here towards the end and start answering some questions and being available for you. All right. So the first question, who am I? Number one, I'm an artist. I love to sculpt more than anything else. I've created over 100 courses, and the thing that still blows me away is I've generated over 6 million in revenue in one niche. It's really about 6.5 million. And I've helped over 10,000 people learn the skills they need to change their lives. I've been valuable. I've helped people, and that's really the key thing for me. I just love that we're able to get in there and help people learn this stuff and make a difference in their lives, and anybody can do that. But before this happened, I went from the frying pan into the fire. Years ago, I was unhappy with the job I was in, and I took what I thought was my dream job. It ended up being a bit of a nightmare. Within 30 days of being there, my new boss threatened to lay me off, and he did that 3 more times. And I had never been in that position because I had always been valuable to the people around me. I'd worked my butt off to be valuable to the people around me. But man, I was totally scared, totally freaked out. I'd spent decades building my skills, after all. And here was somebody in a situation that I just had no control over. So I wasn't really comfortable with that. I left, I did some freelance work, I did some consulting, but something happened. My Aisha was born, or we were pregnant with Aisha. And that led to the one situation that leveled me up more than anything else in my life, which is in terms of my business, which is creating my first online course at my first site, ZBrush Workshops. My first class made $2,000 a day at launched. The first month I generated $5,000. The next month I generated over $14,000, and again, to date, I've been able to generate over $6 million from my classes and from my partners' classes. That's a little video of me in one of my first classes talking about anatomy. And as an artist, I never imagined even saying the word million in association with my name. It's just never really happened. But that's the case. And still blows me away. And you might be here thinking, I'm going to learn how to create an online business. I'm going to learn how to create online courses. But the conversation I'm going to really have with you is how do you get more control over your life and your finances and still be fulfilled? Because you can create a business. You can buy a franchise of, some fast-growing business for $100,000, buy into it, and are you going to be fulfilled? But the purpose that we have, and coming here to me to learn this, is to learn how to take our passions and our purpose and build a business that doesn't take away from our life, but adds to our life. I'm not saying it's going to be easy and cake. I'm not saying it's not going to be work, but I'm saying the goal here, and the thing that I want to share with you, is how I've been able to continue to do what I love and have the freedom and the luxury to live in such a beautiful place as Laguna Beach, up in the hill with a fantastic view, be able to sculpt in the morning, be able to draw when I want to, be able to make a difference in people's lives by teaching, and be able to connect with my people, right? And it's just a fantastic thing that I want and I wish for every person watching this. So the first question, and the one that I'm answering here, is which platform do I choose? As I told you, I use Kajabi, but that's not the only one out there. And it can be confusing. Platforms are everywhere. There's WordPress, Kajabi, Thinkific, Udemy, YouTube, Facebook, Gumroad, all of these. So right off the bat, I'm going to get rid of WordPress. Okay, most of the people, when you see WordPress sites, they'll have been done a couple of years ago, and that was before a lot of the new stuff is out there. But today it's totally different. There's a lot more out there for a lot cheaper than ever before. And my suggestion is going to be to take advantage of them. But first we have to understand why. So WordPress, a little too complicated, possible, but complicated. Really, this is a conversation between Kajabi, Thinkific, Udemy, YouTube, Facebook, Gumroad, places like that, okay? And chances are you've probably heard of all this other stuff like Instapage, LeadPay, ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, Wistia, ActiveCampaign, all of that. And it can be terribly complicated because people keep talking to you about landing pages, sales pages, okay? Don't worry about all of these words on the screen. That's one of the most important things for me to communicate right now is don't sweat all this stuff, okay? Because there's really only 3 areas or 3 phases of running an online course. There's customer attraction, there's the customer transaction, and there's customer satisfaction. Okay, and our goal is to kind of find that sweet spot where there's one class or one program or one software that's really doing it all. That's the sweet spot, right? And that's possible, totally possible. If we wanted to dive in, we could look at an area like this and you can start to see how customer attraction is all about landing pages, opt-ins, customer transactions, about sales page. But again, I want to put this here for you guys, for those of you who like to dive deep. But if you don't like to dive deep, do not worry about that. Do not let that stop you, because today the single most important thing is that you get in, you start to share your brilliance. And the tools are so much easier than they used to be. I mean, in fact, you can do an entire course within a Facebook group and PayPal. I'm doing one right now. It cost me $99. And everything, including all the videos, are happening from the individual, the teacher's iPhone. And he's just streaming right into a Facebook group and a simple purchase link. Okay, the pros to this is it's super cheap, as in free. Everyone already has access to it. The cons are the video quality can suck, and it can be informal, so that may or may not work for your group. If you're teaching to accountants, they might have these triggers and want things to be a little bit more formalized. But if you're talking to creatives or people who are looking for breakthroughs or more psychological, emotional, this is totally fine. Informal is actually better, because they might have a day job where they go in and they learn all this formal, structured stuff. But one of the other downsides is you have no say in the platform's behavior, right? And you just don't have any real kind of ownership. Facebook owns its user info. It controls how much of that it gives you access. You have to pay to play. And if you've been in this industry for a while, you've seen that it continually charges more and more and more and more. It ratchets it up, right? Just a couple months ago, there was a big change in their algorithm, and we get significantly less traffic from paying the same amount for ads. So now you have to up how much you pay, and there's just all this adapting and work that you have to do to be able to stay there and get the outcome that you want, right? But the way that I like to think about this is it's like it's fishing. You want to fish where the fish are, but you want to have the fish at your house, right? So you can see the image on the left. Facebook has the audience, and it gives you a tiny bit of control. And what you want to do is you want to catch the fish out there and then bring them back to your own platform where you have the control and you have the capacity to email them, to message them, to send them offers, to send them surveys, to communicate, talk to them on the phone, find out what they need. Really just get in there and be of value to them. But the real question, the thing that I think is important to keep in mind about this idea of phishing is what we're phishing for. Now, most people, when you check out internet marketing, they'll say you're phishing for email addresses. But what I believe in is that you're really out there trying to connect with your customer. You're trying to build connections. And what we want to do is build roadways and bridges in so that we can connect to the person via email, via books, via podcasts, all these different avenues, and really get in there and build a really solid, not just one connection, but multi-layered connection with our customer. Right now, most of that's done via email and via your email list. That's true. Soon messenger bots are coming on, but again, if you do podcasts, you get out there and you connect with people as well. The core of your value, though, is in the list. I've heard people say email is dead, and it is very, very, very far from dead, because if nothing else, there is nothing else. There is no other way that we get out and communicate to people. There is increased competition for attention in the inbox, no question, but there is value in your list if you use it to build a relationship and add value. All right, remember Kevin Kelly's 1,000 true fans and you have a living. 1,000 true fans, they buy something for you for like, let's say $100. They do that once a year. You have a living making $100,000 a year. So when we think about platforms, this is the first question I ask. Does it have custom domain names? Because if we go back here, what I want is to have control over my audience. And one of the ways that we get control over our audience is by branding and by making sure that we own the domain. It doesn't go to, let's say ryankingsline.kajabi.com. You don't even know Kajabi's involved in it. If you knew Kajabi was involved in it, then it starts to take some of the the primacy away from it. So for me, a platform has to give you control over, your domain, your brand in the broadest way possible. Custom domain name is the first most important part of that conversation. Then, once I know if it allows me to create a custom domain name, the next thing I ask is, what else does it do? What else does it do? Does it let me do landing pages? Is it hitting that sweet spot, right? Can I get opt-ins? Can I send emails? Does it let me do sales pages and accept payments? Can I host my videos there, or can I upload my videos there, or do I have to put them on Vimeo and then bring them in like you do with WordPress? Is there a community where we can do commenting, right? These are the things that we need to start to be mindful of and see if we can get all of these three phases into one. And the great news is that there is a trend. Creating online courses used to be crazy. I mean, I use Joomla with an e-commerce plugin built by a guy in the UK, so I could actually only get support if I stayed up until like 7 o'clock at night. Typing away. It was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, typing away, trying to get a response from this guy, because he'd just be coming in. So now, today, everything is moving into an all-in-one system where you're handling customer satisfaction and product delivery. Your videos are there. You upload your videos and it's free. The customer transaction should be free within the platform, but it may cost on the other side. And then customer attraction, ways to bring people to me with lead pages and opt-ins and campaigns or pipelines or whatever they end up being called, drip sequences, all of that stuff. Again, I use Kajabi And Kajabi has free video hosting. It allows commenting. There's no transaction fee, but Stripe does charge. And so you have to hook up your own Stripe account. It does coupons. It does reporting. It does landing pages, opt-ins. I have a custom domain. I have 10 sites. And I can remove the branding. And the email delivery is pretty solid. But that's going to be something that we kind of talk about here in a moment, because the email delivery is not everything, and not all email providers are created equal there. But I wanted to make sure that I brought in someone else so that it didn't look like I was biased or anything of that nature. You know, there's no affiliate link, there's nothing like that. So Thinkific, I've also tried, and it has many of the same features. Free video hosting, community a la commenting, no transaction fees, although Stripe charges. Landing pages was a little not so what I wanted. It was a little bit not so customizable. The opt-in web forms, the custom domain was there, the branding removal was there, the email delivery was, you know, a little bit different. And you can see that one of their features is email white labeling, which is one of their advanced features. And what that basically means is that I can send it from ryan.zbw@zbrushworkshops.com. I can send it from my own domain as opposed to having to send it from thinkific.com, right? That's worked out in my favor with Kajabi because I love sending emails straight through those platforms and keeping all the data and everything in one area. Again, I'm always looking for an all-in-one type of solution. But you got to remember that there is an ecosystem of problems out there. Just within the email opt-in space, there's spam laws, which change. There's deliverability, so your email goes out from the platform to an email gateway, and the email gateway decides is it spam or not spam, and it decides that based on who's sending it, their reliability and reputation. There's also contact management, like knowing that this person clicked on this link, this person clicked on the other link, this guy wants to know about art, this person wants to know about business, right? But then there's video delivery, right? I used to pay $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month to have video deliveries on, you know, a subpar platform as far as I was concerned. Now it's totally free, built in, and I get a player that plays at twice speed, which is how I listen to all of my videos. I can't handle listening to them at one speed. I speed everything up, go super, super fast. You know, video delivery is also worldwide distribution, so you have to have a hub in North America, a hub in Europe, a hub in Asia, you know, so that you can get the video served to them quickly. That's all stuff taken care of by other people, that you want taken care of by other people. You don't want to get your own Amazon S3. You want somebody else to do it, right? Then there's the website pages. And a couple of years ago, responsive changed everything, right? And this is one of the reasons why I ultimately just had to go into platforms, is because going in Drupal, which is where I was before, or Joomla, and having to rewrite all of that HTML and CSS to make it responsive was just a nightmare. The other element of websites and these web pages like, you know, Kajabi and Thinkific, and as you're going to see Instapage and whatnot, is we're always looking for easy builders, great SEO, and super fast load times. And that's a place where you can get things can get screwed up right away, because if somebody comes to your site and it takes too long to load, then they're gone. You've lost them. So there's this whole ecosystem of problems that we have to address, or we have to deal with as we get deeper and deeper into the business side of this. So this is where things like Instapage comes in. You know, it's a super easy builder. It's got great SEO, you know, really fast load times. You know, and you can create these massive pages. Like, for example, in Kajabi, a page can only be so many elements. I think it's like 20 elements. In Instapage, you can create these pages forever. And it's just highly optimized. It does a really great job. Lead Pages is the same kind of deal. So you build these pages, super fast load times. You can embed them into your own pages. You can set your own DNS and custom domain names, all of that different stuff. They've got opt-in forms, A/B testing, you know, all of this kind of really fantastic stuff. Then there's ClickFunnels, which is really a sales engine built into a funnel system with email and contact management kind of, you know, underlining all of that. Very fantastic system. And you can see you can't even learn about ClickFunnels without getting into one of their sales funnels. And this is something you're going to learn about in the class. What's a sales funnel? How are they used? What's their purpose? You know, what do we do? How do we make an awesome one that converts? You know, all of that gets covered in this course I'm building, coming up pretty soon, right? But the key thing to remember is the goal. What is your goal? Is your goal to make a business that supports your life or a business that is your life? Those are two very different goals. So if your goal is to create a business that supports your life, then you want to start simple and build from there. Start with something that sends emails, something that hosts videos and engages the customers, and something that takes payments. That's it, right? Hopefully one thing to do all of it. But that's all you need, is something to send emails, upload my videos, take my payments. 3 things. Don't sweat all this, you know, other elements. Don't sweat the Insta page and lead page and, you know, all of that. Your first job when starting anything is to just get in and start to get a little addicted to it. And I guarantee you, once you get your first sale, man, whew, nothing's coming back from that, right? Once you get that first moment where you're like, oh, they actually do like me. There is some value. I am doing some good. And that, then, you know, that's what happened with me. I ended up building a business that, you know, was able to reach tens of thousands of people and help them get their career started in the film and game industry. So that's a lot of talk. And I don't know exactly, you know, why you're here, what your goals are. You could be sick of trading dollars for hours, right? Now, you might have heard that before, try to make money while I sleep, which is basically a way of saying, I want to build a life that supports me and where I don't have to work hard and just trade this hour for this $100 and hopefully just be able to work hard enough. I know people that are in the industry that work, you know, 15-hour days, 12-hour days, and they're 60 years old. You know, that's a rough way to go, especially when you can take that knowledge, flip it around, and start to train those beneath you. You know, those that are coming up the ladder, and make a whole living for yourself, right? You can need to start generating money immediately, like I did. Like you know, suddenly you got a kid, and now it's like, oh crap. You know, and my daughter, when she came, she went right into the ICU. She cost $100,000 and was worth every penny. But that's not money I had before taking these classes, before teaching these classes. Now, maybe you've been doing this for a while and you're not happy with the results. Maybe you just aren't, you know, something's just not working for you. Maybe you're checking this out for a friend. Maybe you just know that there's something here and you can't tell what it is. But the real question that I tell people to consider, you know, no matter what your reasons are that got you here, the real question that I want you to consider is, are you committed to adding value to your industry? Because if you're committed to adding value to your industry, then you can do this. If you're willing to add that value, whatever value it takes, right? The key thing I want you to take away from this is that I've done this. I've repeated this for years. It's not rocket science. I have a system where we have a process, a step-by-step process for launching classes, for trying things out, for experimenting, for relaunching, for all of this stuff. I've done this for other people. It's possible for you. Remember, my first class, I made $2,000 the first day, $5,000 the first month. I made $14,000 the next month. And it was an uphill, it was just uphill from there. It was just being able to have control over my life, and within a period of 2 months, generate more revenue than I had made in the previous 6 months working for somebody else is a pretty powerful thing to have happen, I think. So, keep it simple. Make sure that when you're thinking about platform, you're trying to get to the sweet spot. Let me get back to that image real quick, because this is what we want. We want something that's just going to get us to be able to send emails, to take payments, and to upload our videos and to interact with our customers. We're looking for that sweet spot. So your job is just to go through and check out these different platforms and see how they perform in terms of these elements of being able to attract customers, being able to handle the customer transaction, and on from there. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave me a comment down below this video and let me know what is the next thing that you want to learn in this series on how to create a business making online courses. And if you have a question, more questions about platforms, leave me a question down below and I will make sure to answer that for you and help you get further along in your journey. That is my goal here, is to really help you achieve your dreams and get that freedom that I've had over the last 8 years. All right, now I've got a couple of questions that I've seen pop up while we're here, so I want to take a moment and answer those questions. Okay, one of them was Isan, building an audience for me would be the next thing I'd love to learn how. And Josh is asking about pricing. And Brian is asking about marketing and building an audience. Okay, fantastic. All right, the key thing to building an audience. Number one, you have to be aware building an audience is about building an audience. Not buying, not getting, not stepping into, building. Building anything is a process. So it has stages. This first step is always adding value. So this is where most people get screwed up. They get stuck in this expertitis or expert syndrome, and they start to think I need to know X, Y, and Z before I can do, whatever, before I can share. But that's not the case, because experts are annoying. Okay, what people are looking for is they're looking for connection. They're looking for somebody who knows their problem and is maybe a step or two ahead of them and is able to guide them through the process. So the key thing that you have to think about when you're building an audience is adding value. But in order for you to feel comfortable adding value, you need to have confidence in yourself and confidence in what you have achieved already. So what's one struggle that you have really kind of nailed that other people are struggling with? Find that and create a tutorial, create a video, create something, preferably video, because video is where people get the most engagement from. A blog post is going to be good, but it's not going to be as impactful as if you have a video and you are really just there with them for a half hour, 45 minutes, right? Because part of what's going to happen is people are going to watch it and then they're going to fall off, right? And you might start worrying like you want people to fall off because you're building an audience. You're not buying it, you're building it. So you're offering something out there, people come in and they're like, I like this, nah, not my thing. You want people to fall off, so you build the audience that matters to you, that has the people that are important to you and that are going to be interested in hearing what you say. So, key components. Build it. Have confidence in yourself. Find a struggle that you have leveled up above other people in, right? That you've kind of stepped up a little bit, and create a tutorial, a video tutorial on that topic. Post it on YouTube, post it in some industry space for you guys, but make it and post it. All right, let me check the next question. Josh is asking about pricing. Pricing is really important because pricing, and we'll probably do something on that. I want to do a little video on that. Pricing is positioning. Pricing is all about finding the part of your tribe that you want to talk to. The part of the tribe that has the customers that you really want to help the most. And so one of the things that we do is we establish a value ladder, so to speak, so that maybe you've got a $49 offer. You're helping people that have a certain commitment level to their work, or they've got other things going on and so they can't afford it, and then you work your way up, right? So I have a product that's about $3,000, and this is kind of a group coaching product, so to speak. And in that one, I'm able to offer to my customers and the people that are in that, you know, a whole suite of services. We have somebody new come in every single month. I've got one-on-one mentors in there. I have 2 classes a week. You know, it's like it's an intense amount of full-on contact with people. And that's a lot more contact than you'll get at most $2,000 coaching programs. You know, the ones that I've paid, the ones I've bought, $2,000 coaching program, you know, you're lucky to get once a week training. In some cases, you don't even get any. You get a monthly sales call or something, whatever it is, right? But for me, you know, I've found that pricing it and setting the price at a level that really connects with the people I want to connect with is one of the keys to having a successful business. So hopefully we'll talk about that. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments down below this. And oh, I love this question from Charlie about VR. Do you know anything about Facebook's plan for VR, and are there any opportunities for 3D businesses? And I'd say yes, there are. So patience on that one, I guess. And we will see where that goes. And there we go. And Camille, yeah, basically the general idea, Camille's asking, are we talking sales funnels? And Camille, we are totally talking sales funnels. So if you guys want to learn more about sales funnels, let me know down below this video. All right? I hope you learned something in this. I hope I brought some value to your day to help you in this conversation that you're having with yourself about starting a business. And you know, I've been in this for a long time. I've seen people come in from all different vectors, but the one most important thing I can leave you with is that if there's a time to start, it's now. Over half of the world is on the internet now, 4 billion people. The other half are coming on. Right? So there's still an opportunity for you to build a career as an influencer, but that opportunity is going away. And as more and more of the world gets broadband access, over 1 megabyte per second, and video starts to reach out to more and more people, and more competition comes in, you think the market's crowded now, wait 5 years, and it'll be even more crowded. So don't wait, all right? Leave me a comment down below this video what else you want to learn. Stay tuned for the next in this series, and then be mindful that in probably about a week, depending on when you're watching this, I'm going to open up my course on how to create a business building these online courses, right? And share with you everything that I have done. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk to you later.